Lewiston, Maine.
Yeah.
The hidden punch.
Well, it was you could see the punch. They called it a phantom punch. You could see the punch, but it was like he called it an
anchor punch. Which punch? Anchor. I call it the anchor punch.
Did someone step and fetch it out there?
Yeah, man. And people couldn't see it. It was so fast. Sport Illustrated clocked they got a slow motion camera. They clocked the punch, and the punch flew at 4/100ths of a second. The minute I hit Sonny Liston, all of those people blinked at that moment. That's why they didn't see the punch. I swear. And if you watch the film close, you gotta hold your eyes real close and keep looking about that. When I said, all right, I'm getting ready to hit him, you got to hold your eyes and wait, or you won't see it, man.
That looks like a dive. You're saying it wasn't a dive?
No, it was a dive.
It was a dive.
Oh, it was a dive. Sonny took the first opportunity he could to go down.
And a lot of people say it didn't land, but you could see his head react. It definitely landed. The question was whether or not he decided to stay down once he got hit, and I think he did.
In my mind, I believe in my heart that he was told to do it, but I have no proof.
Muhammad Ali was not a puncher. I remember when I talked to Eddie Futch, the great trainer, he was talking about that fight, and he says, Ali was not a puncher. Please believe me. I've got it on tape. Ali was not a puncher, and I know he wasn't.
Well, anyone who's watched Ali knows that's not what he was known for.
He was pulling back, he was on his toes, and it was a 6-inch punch.
As a fighter, and a fighter that done train fighter and advised and co-managed fighters and world champions, personally, I believe he threw the fight.
If you watch it, just doesn't look realistic. Like if you watch when he goes down, the way he went down seemed maybe legit, but the way he stumbled around, he didn't stumble around like a guy whose central nervous system got jacked.
I believe he threw the fight.
Why?
Just want to get out of there.
No, why do you think he did it?
I think Sonny threw the fight on his behalf is that he was sick of what was going on.
In what regard?
Sonny was a happy guy in the ring and a happy guy at the bar. In life, all Sonny went through had beat him down.
May 25th, 1965. Lewiston, Maine. A day in boxing history where Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston would be taking completely different paths in their boxing career. This photo is one of the most iconic in sports history, made into posters on kids' walls, signifying the ascent of Muhammad Ali and demise of Sonny Liston. This was the second fight between the two. The first bout was held on February 25th, 1964, in Miami Beach, Florida. Ali was still known as Cassius Clay at the time, who was a 7-1 underdog, who won in major upset fashion. When Liston gave up at the opening of the 7th round after clearly being dominated in the 6th. Even though Liston was still the betting favorite in the second bout, circumstances were different this time around for Liston. The mythology of Ali Liston 2 being fixed isn't about the actual punch Ali threw, because his anchor punch did land. It's more about if the punch was hard enough to knock Liston out, making him lay down on the mat and not wanting to fight anymore. That's where the real debate needs to be held. Was Liston told to take a dive? If so, who told him to do so? And why would they do such a thing? Did Ali know? We will get into the details today. Hello, and welcome to Sports Faults, presented by D.A.T.A Productions, uncovering the untold, lost, and forgotten files of the sports world. The first rule in any philosophical debate is that both sides must agree on the same undeniable principles or facts. In the case of this video, in figuring out if this fight was fixed, we will consider these 2 points to be facts. 1. Ali indeed landed the anchor punch on Sonny Liston, and 2.
Because Ali knew that he hadn't punched him hard enough for him to go down. He was screaming at him, "Get up, you yellow bum, nobody will believe this." When Ali walked back to his corner, he told his cornerman, he laid down.
These 2 pillars of information will help us investigate the situation on a sharper level. Taking a look at the events leading up to the fight, right away, it's obvious that Sonny Liston was in between a rock and a hard place. Like Ali, his life didn't just consist of boxing. Ali was a social activist, a TV movie celebrity in the mainstream, while Liston's activities outside of boxing were more on the criminal side of things.
That's what made Sonny a killer, angry in the ring. That's what made him knock out cops and put him in trash cans. But Sonny was an angry guy. Couldn't nobody handle him but Brother Munson out of Philly.
Knock out cops and put them in trash cans.
Yes, public knowledge.
A police sergeant put out the word that Liston should leave town or else. Sonny heeded to that ultimatum, and he went to Philadelphia. His managers sold his contract to a group headed by mafia-connected Carbo and Palermo.
Sonny, this is how he got caught up. Sonny came home from prison. The father at the Missouri State Prison was a Catholic priest, and he was Italian. He just took Sonny, the guy that trained Sonny, took Sonny to the amateurs, and he was an Italian trainer. He took him to John Portali, was alleged mob underboss and union racketeering in there. Now, I can speak on Sonny when he come to Philly because I knew them guys. And I knew them guys, a lot of them guys going on, I had respect for them guys. When Sonny came to Philly in this area, when he got kicked out of St. Louis, Sonny came under Blanky Belambo and Frankie Kaba. They was alleged Murder Incorporated, ran the underworld, ran boxing and all the sports and music world for the underworld.
Some say the mafia told him to take the dive because Ali was still the underdog in the fight, making it so his mafia-connected managers could make a lot of money.
They used the brothers, the corporation and the underworld used the brothers. I don't even talk about them, I'm a Muslim.
But that theory doesn't hold much weight, especially since he has denied it previously and led us down a different path.
Because they either want to build up Ali or tear down Sonny Liston. But the fact is that Sonny Liston's wife and child were being held against their will. They were kidnapped by the black Muslims who told Sonny, if you want to see them again, you have to lose this fight.
Ali was on the brink of being a breakout superstar in the mainstream world.
Now, a 6-inch punch, properly situated from a good fighter like Sonny Liston, could knock somebody down. But Sonny dropped his left hand, and he was inviting the punch. The backdrop prior to Sonny's wife and son being kidnapped was that, yes, Malcolm X had been assassinated, and Elijah Muhammad had really broken from Malcolm X. Ali was very close to Malcolm X, but he sided with Elijah Muhammad. When Malcolm got assassinated, that very night there was a fire in Ali's apartment, and his wife at the time thought that the Muslims were sending a clear message to Ali that he should not get out of line. There is so much information in terms of the fear that was palpable about the assassination rumors, both in Boston and then in Lewiston, Maine, when the fight got moved, that Muslims that were loyal to Malcolm were coming to Maine to assassinate Ali. And Sonny believed him, Ali believed him, and there's a lot of quotes in the book out of their own mouths, obviously, that support that. And there were a couple of quotes that Sonny said to reporters, said, well, what's there for me to worry about? They're coming to get him. And then shortly after that, Sonny says, they're coming to get him, not me, right? So Sonny he was afraid of, he couldn't understand Muslims, and he was afraid of crazy people. And he thought Ali, and he thought Muslims in general were crazy because he just couldn't understand them.
The one-time toughest man in the world crumbled to the canvas off a weak hit.
But how are you so sure that your version of what happened in that second fight is true, that Liston did that because he was in fear for the lives of his family? How are you so sure?
Well, I talked to a woman who was close friends with both the Listons and the Lewises, and she couldn't find Geraldine. She was very close to Geraldine on the day.
That's Sonny's wife, in case people don't know.
Right, excuse me, yeah. They were very close, and she was up with her husband and her daughter up in Lewiston, Maine, and on the day of the fight, she couldn't get in touch with Geraldine. And she was worried about it, so she says to Martha Lewis, Joe's wife, Martha, I'm worried, I can't find Geraldine. You know, what could be wrong? She's not picking up her phone. And so Martha says, well, Marilyn, the black Muslims have her and the boy, and Sonny's got to lose the fight if he wants to see them again. Is that first-hand information? No, but that's about as close as you can get, because what happened, I'm certain, is that Sonny told Joe Lewis, because they were very close. Joe told his wife, and Martha told Marilyn.
Do you really think a former heavyweight champion of the world would purposely throw a fight? In most cases, no. But in Sonny's case, if you are being controlled by criminals, and if your family's life is in danger, then yes, I would think so.
The real tragedy was that the originally scheduled rematch was set for November 16th, 1964 in Boston, and Sonny was in the best shape of his life.
And Ali got the hernia.
3 days before, on Friday the 13th. And that effectively ended Sonny's chances, because he was a 45-year-old man who had worked and worked and worked. And there are rumors, which I don't believe, that the hernia was faked, because all of the Muslims says, this guy's in such great shape, he's going to kill you.
So after considering all this information, seeing how the fight played out, knowing the background leading up to the fight and the aftermath of it, do you think Sonny took a dive? Do you think the anchor punch really knocked him out? Was it the Nation of Islam to call the fix? Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. Like the video and subscribe for more investigation content like this. This was Sports Vaults, presented by D.A.T.A Productions. See you next time.